Hey guys, welcome to Ringsiders. Very, very special guest tonight. MLW National Openweight Champion Alex Kane. How you doing, man? The suplex assassin, Alex Kane, did I say?
I'm good. I'm real good. I've been looking forward to this one, so
Hey, that's
I'm
good to
ready to have
hear,
some
man.
fun.
It's usually us that's looking forward to it, so makes a change. But
We have.
it
It's
makes it. What's also nice is I love it when we've got someone on who's currently a champion, and I mean, like Jamie said, national openweight champion. That's a
Hmm.
big deal. That it's not just
Oh yeah,
I'm not no disrespect to any other championships, but that's a big championship in the wrestling business, and you're currently the holder of that. That must be pretty cool, and I'm guessing a lot of pressure comes with that as well.
yeah. It's pretty dope. After I won it, like I didn't know that Hammerstone was the only other person to hold the belt.
mm,
Yeah,
Um, and then I think after, yeah, I was checking online afterward that night, and like someone made a Wikipedia page for me and everything. That was pretty
you,
cool.
you know you're famous, dude. You've made it when you've got a Wikipedia entry. That you know.
and what a way to win it as well. Mostly a five-man ladder match as well. I mean, how grueling was that?
It was for me. It wasn't super terrible because like I was the biggest guy in the match.
Mm.
So I literally just came in and shut shit down. Um, Everybody else was doing all the crazy shit. Like I think the two worst things that probably happened to me was having a lighter thrown at my face,
Yeah.
and uh, and then taking a cutter onto a ladder. That was an interesting experience.
Well, for those of us who have never had a ladder thrown at our face, which is probably 99% of people listening, how does that actually feel? Well, to get a ladder thrown at your face.
If you, I don't know what it feels like to actually have it hit you in the face because I got my hands up trying to knock it away because I was not about to like have it knock a tooth out or break a nose. Even though I have a mouthpiece in, like that's still worrisome. But
Yeah,
it was definitely painful. It was
yeah,
definitely a stinger.
Yeah, and what I love about you as well is I've been watching some clips as well, and with you, I love about you is you're real. I mean, I
yeah.
know it's like I watch you and I think, yeah, this guy's legit, this guy's real. I mean, how much are we seeing Alex Kane in the ring? Is it all just you turned up?
Yeah, it's So when I played football in high school, I was like the hype man or whatever, and
Mm.
I was the guy that was gonna like come in there and like try to knock your helmet off. And even in wrestling, I was kind of the same way. Like I'd take shots on people and bark at them or whatever. Like I was just like in it, intense. Um, so yeah, it is kind of me. I mean, I've kind of separated like my everyday self from my character, but
Mm.
yeah, it is me kind of turned up to like 11,
I
just
mean,
having
Yeah,
fun.
when I was
I was.
doing my when I was doing my research on yourself, obviously we see what we see in the ring, but it's always good to try and find out some facts from like behind the scenes and stuff. And I was reading that you've got a 500-pound deadlift that you did
Yeah,
with no belt or anything, and I was like,
yeah.
that just makes me cringe. Like, how do you
Puff
do
that
that?
chest out, man.
It
Puff that
was
chest out.
so the first time I did it, like I actually like trained for it because my girlfriend's also a power lifter,
Mm.
and like my whole thing was I'm gonna try to like beat her to this number, and I don't think. Uh, have you deadlifted 500 pounds yet? No, she still hasn't hit the number yet. So I was like, I'm gonna get here before you or whatever, and this isn't even like my discipline. And then the second time I did it, the first time I did it with a belt. The second time I did it without a belt. I was like, I think I literally did it on a whim. Like I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can deadlift 500 pounds without a belt today or whatever. And I did it. I was like, okay, all right, we really out here doing damn things. And like I know, like when some guys deadlift, like they really like squat into the deadlift. Like
Mm.
I do, mine is more of a hinge or whatever.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
scares the crap out of my girlfriend. She's like, you're gonna destroy your lower back. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm bracing. I'm bracing the core. Like I'm good.
yeah, man. I honestly, I don't go to the gym anymore. I used to a few years ago. I used to be there quite a lot, but someone smaller like me, I've got a limit on what I can lift. And deadlifts are always that one where I never got it proper. My form was always off, and I always blew my back out. So the thought of doing 500 pounds like you do, just I can't even imagine how much you have to train for that kind of thing. But how much does that strength training help you in wrestling? I mean, you throw
Um,
dudes around, it must help a lot.
It helps a good bit. I mean, there are definitely some things that help more than others. Like if you've seen me wrestle, I don't look like a bodybuilder. I just look like a strong dude, and that's where I try to keep it.
Yeah.
Unless I get self-conscious, then I'm like, I need to like trim. I need to trim this away. But when you look at like the strongest dudes in the world, like they're not like. I mean, some of them are on the gas, and then others are like, I guess, as natural as you possibly can be, but they're not like shredded. They're like, they just look like big beefy dudes.
That's right. It's always, have you ever seen like the arm wrestling competitions? It's always the dudes who don't look like arm wrestlers who are the strongest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like being shredded is not it's not a, I don't think it's the I guess the pinnacle of strength. It's just being a massive dude. And I feel like that makes me a little bit more relatable than just somebody who's just like veiny and cut up all the way or whatever.
Definitely.
Because like most people can't relate to that guy that looks like that. No, people aren't gonna dedicate like that much time to it. Like that takes extra time on top of like eating right and dieting.
Yeah,
that's like extreme.
I'm not looking at Bron Breakker in NXT, for example, and thinking, oh yeah, I can relate to that dude. You know, they're not a chance. But another thing I was saying about like Hugh throwing dudes around, I also read as well, I don't know how true it is, but you've got 100 suplexes in your arsenal, it says on the MLW bio.
I do have 100 suplexes in my arsenal.
I want to know, do you have the list of them? Like, I want to. Can you? How many?
No, I don't. Well, I don't have the list because like when it comes to doing like 100 suplexes, a lot of the setups are it's all about the setup. The setups are different, but I don't have name. I don't have names for all 100. Whatever. Yeah. That's too time consuming. But
not to
like
put you
just,
on
there's
the
a lot of different setups, but the impact is normally the same. You're either gonna land on your neck or your back. I mean,
what's your favorite one? What's your favorite suplex? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite suplex is my finisher, which is the Mark of Kane. It's the cravat leg hook one that looks like death.
That is such a great name for a finisher as well, the Mark of Kane. Like if you know the meaning behind it, I think it's a really cool name for a finisher. Did you come up with that?
I did come up with that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it because like we call you the suplex assassin, but I think you are legit the real suplex city as well, aren't you? Let's be honest. I mean, you are the suplex guy.
I think it's more like suplex state with you if you've got like a 100 suplexes.
A state of suplex. I might have to take that one.
How has it been as well? Obviously, just working for MLW. I mean, obviously, I personally think they're one of the best products out there. I mean, how important do you think they are now in the wrestling landscape? I mean, I think they're one of the big companies out there.
Man, being an MLW it's pretty dope. Like as far as like I guess like behind the scenes, like everybody in the locker room, like when I got signed, they said like welcome to the family, and like I mean I've worked retail jobs and stuff, and they'll tell you, oh yeah, this is a family, but it's not a family at all. They just say that to like make you feel better, but MLW is really is like a family. Like we have our feuds on screen and shit like that, but like everybody is really there to like put on the best product possible. Like there's so much knowledge within that locker room. Aside, you have Court Bauer or whatever who's worked in WWE. He's worked right under Vince McMahon. Yeah. So there's so much knowledge within that locker room. There's so much learning to do, and like everybody's open to ask. So.
I was going to ask as well. Obviously, I mean, obviously working with Court as well. I mean, how has that been? That experience? I mean, his vision for the company, is that something you're very much buying into?
Yeah, Court has literally since I've been signed, like Court has literally taken me under his wing, and just kind of guided me. It's kind of kept me, I guess, grounded. Yeah. So I mean that's nice, and then also like anytime like I ever get like I don't know, like down on myself, he's always there to be like, yo, look, we ain't got time for this shit or whatever. Yeah. You're here for a reason.
So he's got gives you that motivation that you need, even if you start to doubt yourself. That's like a coach would be.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a coach. Yeah. In a sense.
Well, that's what you kind of need as well. I have to go back, sorry, just to ask you as well, because obviously you won the title, but I mean, it was in the ECW arena as well. I mean, what was that like competing in that arena with the history of that arena?
Man, it was nuts. I remember, I guess like the memory that sticks out the most to me, the entire night is when I pulled the belt down and I just hear the boos like just come in from everywhere, and it feels like the boos are coming like from the back of the crowd or whatever, and then just like I don't know, like radiating over everybody, and it's like I think some people be like, "Oh my God, they're booing me," but like when I heard that, I was like, "Yes, yes, yes."
It's a special arena, isn't it? I mean, I'm presuming was you an ECW fan growing up?
I actually, so I didn't really start like watching wrestling. I want to say until like 2001.
Yeah.
And like where I lived, like they didn't get ECW, and like I didn't really know like where to look for it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so I wasn't. I guess if I would have saw it, I would have been a fan of it. Because like watching some of the stuff now, I'm like, okay, I can see why this is as hot as it was. But yeah, as a kid, no, I was mainly like WWE, TNA. I'd see Deep South Wrestling every now and again.
Yeah.
What else?
See, in my head now, I'm just envisioning a dream match back in the day of you versus Taz.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
That would be the dream match. That would be the match that everybody wants to see.
Oh, man, I would
throw in Samoa Joe as well. I mean, if you're doing suplexes and submissions, the other two people I can think of right now, Taz, for suplexes, Samoa Joe of the submissions. Let's find out who's the best at doing suplexes and submissions out of you, Taz, and Samoa Joe. I'd pay good money for that.
I pay good money for that shit too. I get paid good money for that too.
Yeah, you would.
Well, I'll tell you what as well. Speaking of good money, I would pay good money as well. Obviously, you're defending against Calvin Tankman.
Well, that is coming up on January 21st, Dallas.
Jesus.
How's it like? I mean, are you ready for this match? What's it like working with Calvin? I mean, this is a match I am literally, I cannot wait to watch this match.
Working with Calvin's been all right. I mean, it hasn't been like, I guess like the story that we've kind of built together has been fun. And I'm interested to see, I've suplexed dudes bigger than Calvin.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see like how the dynamic of the match works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, and how many times you can suplex him? I want to
Yeah.
I want to see that, but I am. Sorry, Callum, go on.
I was going to say he's a great dude. It was only maybe a year or so ago that I first saw Tankman, but he impressed me so much, just his agility for a bigger dude.
Mm-hmm.
But when you throw him in there with like a guy like yourself, who you're a strong dude, fast as well, I can only imagine that's going to be like an early MLW match of the year candidate. Like that's a match I'm really looking forward to.
That's what I want. Like I've said on other podcasts, like I want this. I don't know how long this rivalry is going to go. But if it does last for some time, I want it to be able to rival like Hammerstone and Fatu. I know there's some big shoes to fill. I understand that, but like if you don't shoot to be the best, what are you shooting at?
Yeah,
exactly.
And speaking of shoes to fill as well, like Hammerstone, current world champion, you must be wanting to fill those shoes too, right? Given the chance.
Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely.
Can we any time scale of when, or is it just when the opportunity presents itself?
When the opportunity presents itself. When I get the green light, the okay to shoot for that, I will definitely.
Yeah, like you said, if you're not trying to be the best, then you're in the wrong business.
Exactly.
That's it. I just want moving away from MLW as well. Obviously, there's a company that a lot of my friends have said check this company out on IWTV, and that's Action Wrestling.
Yes.
When you've been competing at. I mean, what's that been like? I mean, I'm not very familiar with it, but I've got a lot of people saying check Action Wrestling out. Check Action Wrestling out.
Man, Action is dope. So like, so before I had started wrestling in Action, they did this future showcase in 2020, and it was basically like the best and brightest or whatever talents that are coming up, and I didn't win the tournament, but like that tournament like kind of put me on a lot of people's radars.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely thankful for that, because that opportunity kind of like came out of nowhere. Like I wasn't expecting it to come. And then like I impressed the booker, who the person who runs Action, Matt Griffin, and literally the next show that they had, I was on it. And he's been like building. He's been, I don't know, like first few shows that I was there, like he built me up pretty nice. And like he always gives me like the best matches he possibly can. I wrestled O'Shea Edwards there. I wrestled Mads Kruger or Logan Creed there. I wrestled Graham Bell, which he now goes by the Merc. I don't really know.
Yeah.
That was the match. I hit like 12 suplexes, broke what they call the suplex counter. These fans literally created this big sign of counters for suplexes. It goes up to 10, and then they had like individual like pamphlets of suplexes to hand out to everybody. Yeah. So I'm throwing these suplexes, and people are like 1, 2, 3, and it's the coolest thing ever.
Well, I think I need to check it out. A lot of people have said to me about Action Wrestling. We've actually had Logan Creed on before, and I think it was himself that said to me about Action Wrestling. So it's one that I need to check out. Luckily, obviously, IWTV, which has been a godsend during the pandemic for us over here, and it Callum as well.
Yeah, it has.
It's given us the opportunity to discover so much more talent and so much more companies out there. Have you thought that yourself? Obviously, with the pandemic, it's given a lot of these independent companies chance to showcase themselves.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know what IWTV was like before the pandemic, but definitely with the pandemic, like, the pandemic definitely sucks. And
yes.
I mean, we're still in it or whatever, but it definitely sucks. But like, I feel it's put a big spotlight on like the especially the companies that do like live tapings.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can still get like a good bit of traction with the premieres, but definitely the live tapings. Because that's what really helped me. Like I remember I did that. I did the Future Showcase, I did Action, and then I remember going to Paradigm Pro in Indiana, and they did the UWFI Grand Prix. They had Matthew Justice I believe my event was Matthew Justice and Dan Severn.
Yeah.
I did Dan Severn seminar the night before. I got a spot on that show. I murdered Levi Everett with the mark of Kane, and like that shit blew up. Like, so, and like I had people like tagging like Court Bauer, tagging MLW, like, yo, check this guy out. And that's how I got signed. That's how I got eyes on me. Like somebody tagged Court Bauer, some fan from Ireland. I still don't know who he is. But he tagged Court Bauer. Court Bauer actually went and looked at my stuff and was like, we're getting this guy.
Hell yeah.
So cool. I mean, I hate social media, but the benefits of it, like especially work-wise, like you got booked off a GIF or a video clip basically, and now you're a champion. That's so cool.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like I tell a lot of guys, like younger guys coming up, like you don't have to be like definitely like if any social media that you get on Twitter, like at least have a Twitter account, at least have one or whatever. Yeah. Like I always tell them like you don't have to be like in character all the fucking time, because I mean the Twitter algorithm doesn't give a fuck about that shit. It really doesn't. Like if you're a real person and you have like you don't post like bad takes, like I tell people to keep all their personal bad takes to themselves. I mean, you shouldn't have them anyway, but if you have them, keep them to yourself. And like, you know, just be mixed character with a little bit of yourself, like a little bit of your personality in there or whatever. And like, then like have like a highlight video or something posted on your page. So if you have a tweet that kind of goes viral a little bit, people click on your page, they see your wrestling post or whatever. They're like, oh, this guy's cool. Let me follow this guy or whatever. And it just starts to build from there.
Can we get you doing like PR for some wrestlers at the moment? Because it's been nothing but a dumpster fire recently. If everyone adopted that mentality, especially yesterday, I think Twitter would be a better place. But
most definitely.
You know, you're absolutely right. If you can mix it with a bit of yourself, so that people know you're not really a dick, but then
Mhm.
still put in your character so they understand who you are. I think that's the perfect balance.
Like I think the only person that can like be a dick on Twitter and like we understand why he's a dick on Twitter is MJF.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Because he's established that is who he is. And he's been on national TV products pretty much his entire career. So like we know who MJF is. He was MJF in MLW and he's still the same probably
dude.
better MJF in AEW.
Yeah.
We know who MJF is, but if you're not established and you're just being a dick online, like
Yeah.
you need to reel it in or whatever.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows who you are yet. Like you gotta wait till like you have that like established on like a bigger platform so people can be like, okay, this is this guy's character. When he's online being a dick, he's not actually trying to be like super offensive or whatever. Because like I always on TikTok, I always see like little snippets of like Bully Ray videos and how he's talking about like there's no real heels anymore.
Yeah.
And I won't say that there's no real heels anymore. It's just that like with the way that society is now, you can't be you can't be outrightly offensive. Like I don't feel like you need to be offensive to be an effective villain.
Yeah.
Like even villains in like TV shows and movies aren't outrightly like offensive. They're not out here calling people homophobic slurs and shit.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of the fans have done on fucking AEW. Like you don't need to be that. You just need to be detestable, but you don't need to cross that line. There's a line, there's a certain line that you shouldn't cross or whatever. And like if you can not cross that line and still get heat, like you're a good heel. But if you have to cross that line, you're garbage.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Like, it's the Bully Ray thing, like you said. I keep seeing that GIF or that image of him where it's like he's like rolling his eyes back and it says heat, and it creases me up every time. But because what Bully Ray thinks is heat, it is heat, but you can't do it nowadays. Maybe back in the territories it worked.
Yeah, definitely back in the territories, but it's like you can't like. I remember I watched an interview with Baron Corbin, and he was saying everybody online wants to be the cool heel. They want to be liked and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but the thing that Baron Corbin doesn't have to deal with is he's not going to another promotion or whatever and working babyface. He's a heel in WWE.
Yeah.
That's all he has to worry about is being a heel in WWE.
For one crowd. Yeah.
For one crowd. Or whatever. As indie wrestlers, like you may be a heel one place in the same state, you may be a heel at one promotion, and then you're a babyface in the same state at another promotion.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, you gotta find that mix and that barrier of being an asshole, but also like kind of gotta be cool or whatever, to keep the babyface fans around. Like, I mean, if everybody worked together and there was like, okay, look, this guy's a heel or whatever, and we'll keep him a heel while he's in this state or whatever, then cool. But people don't work together.
Yeah.
No, totally agree, dude. Totally agree. I know we're running short on time, so I don't want us to get cut off. It's been amazing, dude. Like you said, we've both been really looking forward to this one. We were talking earlier today about how excited we were. But before you go, I mean, is there anything you want to plug, promote?
That t-shirt.
The t-shirt. Yeah.
MLW shop. I've got 2 t-shirts on there. I've got an Alex Kane t-shirt with like this like death metal font of my name. It has my face on it, so you won't miss it. And then the Boomaye Fight Club t-shirt. If you've been on Twitter, been paying attention to anything MLW, or if you haven't, go watch some MLW. But like, it's got the logo on there. It says "Finish and Kill 'em." It looks dope. Get you one. MLWshop.com. Follow me on Twitter at Alex_Kane11. On Instagram, The Real Alex Kane. On TikTok, The Real Alex Kane. Yeah, that's it. That's all my plugs.
No, MySpace or anything?
Brainbuster Tees. I got merch on there too. Go buy that too. So Brainbuster Tees, MLW shop. Go buy my merchandise, please.
Well, that's what I'm off to do now. I'm going to go and buy that t-shirt because I think it's an incredible t-shirt. But dude, best of luck with everything, man. We'll hopefully get you back on down the line at some point. But for now, MLW's national openweight champion, Alex Kane, the suplex assassin. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for having me.